Today we're going to be looking at another structure mod similar to the one that I looked at like a few days ago. You know, the really awesome one made by Pasvanti, you know, really good, fantastic mod creator. But they've made another mod called the FORTRESS mod. So it caught my eyeball whenever I was looking on this Subnautica Nexus. And yeah, without further ado, we're going to go look at it. There's a beacon. So I just installed the mod and whatnot. And there's a beacon that automatically shows up showing where the actual structure is. So just want to throw that out there in case you're wondering where to find this. All right, and there is our little structure right here. So this is again called the FORTRESS mod made by Pasvanti. I really like those names. These windows look kind of cool. Why is it like purple but also green? We're gonna find out. But this mod's made by Pasvanti. Again, you know, makes some of the best structure mods in my opinion. Okay, and there's another addition to this. So it's not a hard requirement for this mod, but you can download the bloop mod like alongside this one, because this mod adds a bloop spawn in the underwater islands, as we can see, and that giant leviathan over there. So let's look at the outside, as we do every time we look at one of these mods. So whenever you get further away, some of these, okay, well, there goes my sea moth. But whenever I get further away from these like windows, they turn green, but then whenever you get closer, they turn purple and also green. So I don't know if there's like a poster or something on the inside that's making it do that or what. I like this vegetation. There's like a bunch of vegetation all over the fortress / base, making it seem like it's a little more like it's older facility basically. Got all this overgrowth on it. Okay, there's a door right there. So I guess there's two. Is that 2 entrances then? Because I seen another way in on the other side. Overall, this is on the smaller side as far as like structures go. This is definitely not one of their larger structure mods. So nothing near the top. Okay, so it's just, so the only 2 entrances. We got the regular door on the other side, and then there's also like this big old entryway right here. I'm guessing this is for vehicles or something, but we're about to find out. So let's go through the door first. Okay, there's like a little airlock right here because it, you know, takes me out of the water, so that's really nice. Got a locker. I cannot interact with this locker, unfortunately. There's a locker in the airlock that you can't interact with. Just want to, you know, point that out. Okay, correction. So whenever we look out these windows, that's why this purple part is here, to sort of give us that, I guess, purple effect whenever we look out. I think it's supposed to look like this though. Mod creator, Pasvanti, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm looking at the screenshots like on the Subnautica Nexus. There is one where like they're looking out of the window. I'm assuming this is what it's supposed to look like. And if so, then very different. I'll say that much. I wasn't really expecting that. I thought it was gonna be like clear glass. It's sort of giving me like almost like we got like thermal vision looking outside, because it makes it easier to see all these creatures in the distance. You know, I can see these bone sharks. There's a reef back up there. Now I think it also said that there's like regular base modules integrated into this one, and to not, like it strictly said, don't deconstruct those. It's a nice little crib though. Shoot, bunch of different things going on. We got some water tubes over here, even though they just glitched in, because I saw that. Yeah, they disappeared. I seen that. Is that Broly? Why? Well, overall, I like the way this interior looks. I mean, it's really nice, uniquely made. You know, again, one of the big things is like I really like whenever structures don't look like other structures. You know, like they aren't just like copy and paste of other structures. Structure mods and structures from the game. They're really like uniquely made as far as the way everything looks. You know, you got all these different textures, everything's placed differently and all that, so I really appreciate that. This looks like a storage room over here. I'd have to assume this is a storage room because there's like 80 lockers in here. There's 22 lockers in here. Bloop Leviathan, what you doing? Just phasing through the wall? Maybe the bloop, yeah, okay, he just snatched my sea moth and ran away. Like, brother, are you that hungry? Continue through. Okay, this is just the long hallway that we saw before. These plants look really nice over here. Okay, so that was this like first floor area. So let's go upstairs. There is this little staircase up here. Okay, so we'll go over all the different bugs and questions I have at the end of this. This is what the base looks like at nighttime. It's kind of well lit. It's kind of well lit at the bottom, but like there's no lights on the actual base itself aside from the windows and stuff. So it's kind of like, it's not hard to see, but like the actual like shape of the base is harder to see at night. I think the only like well lit part of the base is actually the sea moth entrance. I'm guessing that's what this is right here. So that's like the bestly lit part of the base, I would assume. I would assume, but that's what I'm observing with my eyeballs. Like, what the heck? Jump in our sea moth. Let's go in this entrance right here. Oh, that's what this little box area is for. It's for the sea moth. Okay. Ah, that's why it looks so strange up here. Okay. I like that. Then. Okay, this is like a little creatively made moon pool. I'm like, why are there like gaps and why am I like phasing through the water? That's because that's how you get in and out of the sea moth from the interior of the base. So whenever you walk over, so let's say I'm just in my base, and I look over, you know, I got my sea moth docked right there and stuff. So I just go upstairs. So upstairs is really like the moon pool-esque area. And then you walk along the edges right here, and then you'll start swimming. And all you have to do is go underneath, swim under, and you know, you just go down and then right out. That's cool. I like that. What the heck? I wasn't expecting that. I thought this area was like glitched out or something for a second, but no. I guess this is the area mainly for like your vehicle. So I'm noticing something, right? So there are a few other screenshots. There's supposed to be an integrated scanner room, a integrated bioreactor, and then the thermal plant, right? And we can see the thermal plants right here. But what I'm not seeing is the moon pool. Now the moon pool, I believe, was supposed to be in this area up here, because whenever I look at the screenshots, I mean, I can clearly see like there's a entire moon pool that like sits up there. It's kind of like floating. So I'm not sure if my game didn't load in properly or what, because I mean, everything looked like it loaded in properly. I mean, I'm seeing like the majority of the base and everything. So whenever you walk up this staircase, you're supposed to walk directly into a moon pool, and then there's like a whole other base up here. And also down here and all throughout this base, there's also like these purple panels on the wall. I'll link the actual video, not the actual video, I'll link the other video like showing how this mod works from the mod creator themselves, you know, so you can see what it's supposed to look like and what it's not looking like in my game. But right here, there's supposed to be like a little purple panel. That's where you build like any interior modules so they have power, because if you build them just out in the middle of nowhere, they don't have any power. This generator works right here. So this is supposed to be the generator for the base and like all the energy and stuff. And it works, it's working right now, but it's not connecting to anything, because I suppose I just got unlucky, because structure mods are really annoying to try and fix if something doesn't load in. Like the best thing you can do is just like keep deleting it and reinstalling it and hoping that it works, I guess. But in my case, it did not work, and I also don't have the what the freak? There's a random crystal in here. Okay, whatever. But yeah, the overall base loaded in. Just the like really intricate parts of the base, like the actual power structure and all that stuff, did not load into my game. So we just got ourselves a base with no power in it. And I think it's still a really nice mod overall. I mean, you can still, you know, just come over here and sit in this base if you want like a little break in the underwater islands or something. But you know, living in this spot isn't really possible, or isn't all that feasible, because you know, there's not like a energy source or anything like that in here. Overall, this is a neat little base mod. I will say it's not one of my favorites from this mod creator. I still attribute that to the between the water and earth one, or between earth and water. It's something like that. Hopefully whenever you guys, you know, load this mod up and whatnot, it works like it's supposed to. Like everything loads in down to the, you know, last minute detail. Because in my game, shoot, every time I try to record one of these dang structure mod videos, it's either 50-50. It either works like it's supposed to, or I spend like an entire day trying to get it to work like it's supposed to. And I don't have an entire day to spend. Not this time around, at least. So you're just gonna go with what we got. I'll link the video so you can see what it's actually supposed to look like all in here. Like this little transitioning area up here, I know it wasn't even intentional, I think, since that moon pool is supposed to be up there, but I kind of find it funny how that still works. And also said this is a more like experimental mod, so you know, that's probably why it's a little less stable. We will keep that in mind. You know, just keep that in mind whenever you know, boot up this mod. If you run into any like bugs and anything like that, you know, just let the mod creator know in a nice, respectful fashion, you know, instead of being like, yo, your mod sucks, again, can't capture you. I'm like, nah, don't do that. But yeah, other than that, that is about all I had for y'all. Thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.